Welcome to Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
Good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. Boy, oh boy, are we still in the Keys? I think so. 65 degrees, overcast, a bit breezy, though, making it a bit chillier than that. Had a hoodie, windbreaker, gloves on this morning. I think I am, not acclimated to the cold anymore. 20% chance of rain, though, for today, 75 for the high. Tonight, 30% chance of rain, 66. Tomorrow, 10% chance of rain, 77. Friday, 76 and sunny. Weekend, 78 and sunny. Back out to 81 on Monday. No major incidents to report up and down US 1. Still spring break in full effect. And we're going to say good morning to Leah Stockton, Director of Development and Engagement for A.H. Monroe. You also are experiencing spring break in your household, I'm sure, Leah.
Good morning. Yes, my spring breaker is still asleep, though.
Well, she can take advantage of that. She's entitled,
That's right.
But it would be nice. No.
That's right. It would be nice, right? But all good. All good. It's cold and gray. Why get up this morning? I think many of us thought that this morning.
Yeah, it really, really is overcast. We were having a live broadcast for St. Patrick's Day yesterday, and somebody had said Dublin brought their weather over to us for St. Patrick's Day, but that was yesterday. Anyway, not to complain. We've got lots of wonderful things to be thankful for and to talk about, and let's do just that. A.H. Monroe being one of those things that we are thankful for, one of those organizations whereby we have many, many years of service to health and housing in our community, celebrating a huge anniversary this year.
Absolutely. This year, A.H. Monroe is celebrating our 40th anniversary. The organization was founded in 1986 by a small group of people that wanted to get involved when they saw that their friends and neighbors were suffering during the HIV/AIDS crisis. And so they said, what can we do about it? And here we are 40 years later, still committed to that mission and, serving the community in so many ways.
Yeah, we really are. A.H. Monroe does so many things for health and housing in our community and those struggling with those issues. And we're going to celebrate just a little bit with the anniversary here. We do have the dinner, and I was trying to remember the fancy name for the dinner. It is sold out, but a lot of people will experience a wonderful cuisine journey coming up here very shortly in a couple of days. And we want to thank those who will be taking part in that.
Absolutely. The Vintner's Dinner is Saturday night. It is sold out, so we'll have a great evening there. But for anybody who didn't get tickets to Vintners, they can still join us on Monday at everybody's favorite over at Taste of Key West.
Mm-hmm, that's right. Tickets will be available at the gate there, but also you can get tickets in advance. Taste of Key West, one of the premier events in Key West. 31st annual is this year's, as we sip, savor, and support the Keys, inviting the community part of the story through the signature event of Taste of Key West. We're expecting a lot of people to be there on Monday night.
Absolutely. We have over 4,000 guests usually come out throughout the evening, and we have almost 50 restaurant and beverage partners participating. It's really going to be, it's beautiful right there on the Truman waterfront, really a fun evening. Come out, try some of your favorite restaurants. Give it a go with a few new ones that you've never tried before, and all of the proceeds from the event support our work in the community. So a great evening, great cause. We hope everybody will join us.
Yeah, I think I remember. Was it not held at Mallory Square at one point?
It's bounced around. Bayview Park, over by the dog park by White Street, all around. I mean, 31 years, stuff changes, life happens, but it's been at Truman, for the last few years, and it really is such a nice venue down there. Uber or ride your bike or, catch a ride with a friend, because parking is a bit tight, but we hope everybody will join us that evening. We will be there. I will be there. Come stop by and see me in the A.H. Monroe tent with anniversary cake.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
yes, we'll have a free cake for everybody stops by our booth so that we can celebrate, this milestone moment for us.
40 years. So Truman Waterfront Park is the site of the Taste of Key West 31st annual, happening from 6 to 9 p.m. You can peruse and graze your way through almost 50 local restaurants, over 200 wine, beer, and spirits, and over 4,000 guests annually. So it is a wonderful, wonderful event, a signature event for the city of Key West, and of course for A.H. Monroe, and a chance to support A.H. Monroe in a time when it is very necessary. Again, funding is unsure in these times, and A.H. Monroe needs our support to continue its imperative mission.
Absolutely. It's been a rough year for many nonprofits. And so, I think that's when our community comes together. We have more sponsors supporting this year for the Taste of Key West than we ever have. And so that just shows people in the community want to step up, want to help. And I think that the community will show up on Monday night, and everybody, whether you spend $20 on tasting tickets or $150 for a VIP pass or anywhere in between, just know that all the restaurants donate their food, their time. The beer and wine are donated through Republic National Distributing Company. So just know that you buy in those tickets really does help be able to provide that health and housing in the community.
Yeah, it looks like etix.com is where you can find the VIP passes as well as other tickets available at the site. So etix.com is where you go, but you can find out even more at tasteofkeywest.org. But I think we've explained it pretty fully. And, it has been a very tough year for nonprofits, A.H. Monroe included, but there's been some wonderful accomplishments even as of late, including the lofts at Bahama Village.
Absolutely. The lofts at Bahama Village, we're very proud that opened in the fall. And as of about 2-3 weeks ago, we are at 100% occupancy over on the rental side. All 98 units are full and have people living and working, here in our community there. So it's really nice to see that really come together. And on the homeownership side, that's not our side, that's the city of Key West, manages that side, but I know that's filling up too. So it's really nice to see it sort of become part of the community and see all the folks settling in there. So we're very proud of that, and not stopping there, always on to the next way that we can grow and strengthen our mission. So lots to come, I think, in the year ahead as well.
I certainly believe that. ahmonroe.org is where you find out more. Leah Stockton is the Director of Development and Engagement for A.H. Monroe Health and Housing, building community, transforming lives. We'll talk on future dates, even more detail about health specifically and housing specifically too. We just touched on the lofts, but there's so many milestones to talk about over the past 40 years and so many more to come. Leah, I know you have a very busy week coming up, a very busy weekend and few days here to get to as we again encourage all to come out to Taste of Key West on Monday. Anything else we should be mentioning though at this time, Leah?
Nope. As always, just want to end with we're here to help. Anybody in need of affordable housing in the community can reach out, housing@ahmonroe.org. Or if you're in need of our health services, you can reach out as well. ahmonroe.org is our website. And we're here to help, and we appreciate everybody's support. See you on Monday at Taste of Key West.
That is right. Looking forward to that anniversary cake. That's going to be
absolutely.
All right. I'll bring my fork. Okay. Very good. Thank you, Leah, for being here with us this morning.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Have a very good day yourself. It is Leah Stockton. She is the Director of Development and Engagement, A.H. Monroe. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. We'll return with more of Good Morning Keys in just a moment.
Let's talk trash. I'm Taylor Conrath, and my family's been taking care of your family's trash for years. In fact, we've operated Marathon Garbage Service and kept the Middle Keys clean since my great-grandpa, John Conrath, founded the company in 1950. That's a lot of years talking trash and hauling trash. And these days, we take care of your family's recyclables in addition to commercial and residential waste removal. The Conrath family and our entire team of great employees takes pride in keeping our community clean, from the north end of the 7 Mile Bridge to Craig Key. Now it's my generation of Conraths working together with my grandfather and my dad to continue the tradition and commitment started in 1950 at Marathon Garbage Service. The Conrath family is always there for your family. If you need to talk trash, just call us at 305-743-5165. That's 305-743-5165. Or visit us at 4290 Overseas Highway in Marathon and online at marathongarbageservice.com.
Good morning, dear. Breakfast almost ready?
In a minute. So did you happen to call someone about spalling repair for the house?
You know what? I knew I forgot something yesterday.
Honey, you know how important spalling repair is, especially here in the Keys. If that spalling damage gets any worse...
Don't worry. I'll call Design Center in Marathon.
When?
Today.
How about now?
Okay, dear. Now.
Design Center, the most efficient spalling contractor in the Keys, providing the fastest results. With over 40 years combined experience in spalling repair and a member of the International Concrete Repair Institute, Design Center can handle the largest jobs to small structures. They also handle quite a number of condominium and county projects. Mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair. Visit DesignCenterFL.com or call 305-735-4042. Design Center, 6677 Overseas Highway Marathon. License number CGC 1523838. Remember, mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair from Design Center.
Hello, I'm Dr. Bruce Burrows for Advanced Urgent Care, letting you know we are now making appointments to perform your MRI at our Marathon office. MRIs take about 30 minutes to perform, depending upon the area being scanned. And best of all, AUC will be offering MRI studies at affordable cash prices. Call 305-294-0011, option 7 to learn more. AUC has also created Keys Cares Health Plan to help those who can't afford medical insurance. This plan has a low monthly fee and includes most basic testing for acute illnesses at no extra charge. AUC provides high-quality care at affordable prices. For more information on all our services, visit urgentcarefloridakeys.com. Thank you.
Advanced Urgent Care is the only urgent care in the Keys that is open 7 days a week, including Sundays.
Join the College of the Florida Keys in celebrating our milestone year at CFK's 60th Anniversary Gala. Party with a Purpose on Friday, March 27th from 6 to 10 p.m. at Fort East Martello. Proceeds benefit student scholarships plus academic and workforce programs. Enjoy an evening of dining, cocktails, live music, and dancing while supporting student success. Special thanks to Essential Net Solutions and First Horizon Bank. Visit cfk.edu/60 for info and tickets.
This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. Welcome to Good Morning Keys. We're at about 8:21 now, and no major incidents to report up and down US 1. Traffic moving pretty normally here so far this morning. Spring break is currently underway, so less traffic in terms of the school buses, school zones, etc. We are at some cool temperatures. We're experiencing cool temperatures currently, 65 degrees on our way to 75, 20% chance of rain this morning. And it looks like we've gotten significant rainfall over the past couple of days. We're going to say good morning to Greg Velez. He is Executive Director, Florida Keys Aqueduct Authority. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Michael. How are you?
Doing well. So when we get a lot of rainfall at, in a short period of time, as we had the past couple of days, does that have any significant effect on Florida Keys Aqueduct Authority as far as runoff or silt or whatever else may occur?
Well, a lot of times on the wastewater side, it affects, especially if we have heavy intrusion, then it gets into the system and it overwhelms the system. On the water side, it actually helps us, because people tend, and not so much when you get it quick like that and after such a sustained drought. But if we had more regular, people would curb their irrigation, which is our biggest user of water. And if we can somehow cut that back a little bit, that saves an immense amount of water.
Okay. Well, that is a current topic I thought I would bring up. A quick aside, too, and I'm sorry to stray into this, but this is, and it's not controversial at the least, but I had gotten a call from my daughter in Pennsylvania on behalf of her 3-year-old son. I think you have a future employee in the midst there because he was gathering data as a 3-year-old. He wanted to know from each of his relatives and grandparents where their wastewater goes and who is responsible for doing that. So Florida Keys Aqueduct Authority is now on his growing list of relatives and who uses the wastewater and who supplies that service. So that's kind of an interesting aside that anyway, hang on just a second here. We've got to choose something else. Hang on here. We just have an issue with connectivity once again. I will re-establish with Greg. One of those mornings here. Let's see if we can do this.
Hello.
Okay, Greg. Sorry about that. We had a connectivity problem. But anyway, so yeah, I'll send my resume of my 3-year-old grandson your way, and that's an interesting.
Well, if he comes down, you can take him on one of the little used tour of the wastewater plant. It's not a big tourist attraction, but we can open it up.
Okay. Well, I'll keep. I'm sure he would love that. No doubt about it. By the way, I was also going to send accolades your way. Thank you very much. We also have some newcomers in our neighborhood here in the Lower Keys. And we did have an interruption of service the other night. Your people were on it immediately. And I also sent our inquisitive neighbors to fkaa.com and said, if there's anything happening, it will be an alert at the top of the website, and you will be informed as to what to expect. That was absolutely the case immediately, and your people were right on target with their predictions and worked into the night to restore service with a temporary issue. So, again, great job with communication as well as response to any eventuality on behalf of Florida Keys Aqueduct Authority. So thank you.
Well, thanks, Michael. It's it's a never ending. You never know when it's going to happen. Number one, it always seems to happen at the most inopportune time. We were fighting weather. We knew the weather was rolling in, and we've got an open hole that's already full of water, and more water does not help at that point.
No.
So it unfolded to be more than we had anticipated, and we did end up losing Big Torch and Little Torch and probably parts of Big Pine. So yeah, people experience, you can always find out. Number one, follow us on Facebook.
Yes.
That we get it out right away on social media. We also have our website, which if you see a problem, that's the first place to go because that'll be the first place it is. And then we have an alert system, which we try to call everyone in the affected area. Sometimes we overlap. Sometimes we fall a little bit short, depending on how, once you start blocking out those zones. But we try to get that out. People get upset if you call, so we try to send a text. And we've been working on that the last, especially after we had those leaks a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Greg Velez, Executive Director of Florida Keys Aqueduct Authority on Good Morning Keys. So given the fact that our water comes down a main line that we talk about a lot and the upgrades being done to that, when you get a break, you had mentioned kind of zoning it off. It sounds pretty complicated to isolate certain areas of the system, but still keep it flowing and continuing down the Keys when you have a problem somewhere else.
Well, you run into a lot of different problems. You have valves that haven't been, that while they're exercised, the elements down here are just really, really hard between the chlorine and that we use in our water to treat our water to make it down that 130 miles that it has to go.
Yeah.
And all of those factors, it erodes some of those valves. So when you go to close a valve that might not have been completely closed to water for a number of years, if it fails, you have to drop back to the next valve, which now involves 3 valves. And every time you go out, it fans out and fans out. So it becomes more and more problematic and you lose more and more customers. very fortunate when you get both valves to close at both ends. That makes it a lot easier.
There's always challenges and things that you just never know what to expect, I'm sure, when your people do go out and try to solve those issues. Also, we never quite know what to expect from the legislature. It does seem like we've gotten the support we've needed in terms of funding, generally speaking, but again, here we are without a final budget from the state. They're going to go into an extended session. Get any feeling from Tallahassee as far as how we'll fare for the desperately needed funding to continue these infrastructure projects?
They've been very generous with us over the years.
Good.
And you can tell that by the amount of work that you see going on. Obviously, everyone sees the pipeline project. Mm-hmm. And that's actually good for us. That's where your dollars are going. Mm-hmm. That's where the Tallahassee dollars are going. But then we also have the RO plants, which people tend not to see. Mm-hmm. At that point, when we had that break the other night, that RO plant was generating up to 4 million gallons of water a day. Mm-hmm. And that helps a lot. When you're creating that much water south of a break, that lends itself to making things easier on everyone.
Yeah, indeed. Well, I also want to thank you as another aside for your service as our District 5 Commissioner for the city. And I'm not going to ask you city-related questions. You've got enough on your plate. But you were good enough to answer the call and step up to fill in the interim basis there for the rest of the term. So we just want to thank you for that. It is a thankless job mostly.
Well, it was a great experience being on that side. Yeah. I've been on the other side for so long. And I understand now some of the problems that are, decisions that seem so easy from the administration side get difficult when you get to the other side of the dais. So, yeah, it's been interesting.
Yes.
To say the least.
Well, again, you continue to serve very unselfishly at that. So we thank you for all that you are doing. But Florida Keys Aqueduct Authority, we encourage all to go to fkaa.com. There's all kinds of resources there. And as Greg said, the Facebook page and social media for Florida Keys Aqueduct Authority is also very active and very helpful. Things change all the time, but you can be assured, as evidenced by just a couple of days ago in my neighborhood, Florida Keys Aqueduct Authority is very responsive to taking care of any eventuality as best they can. And still no real traffic tie-ups to report for the Upper Keys either. That project and continuing project progress make that on the pipeline up there seems to be going well. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. Everything's going well.
Good.
Things are going well for us.
Anything else we should be aware of as far as heads up for other projects? I know the Upper Keys continues to, make progress. Is there anything that we should make the public aware of as far as anticipated, further projects?
Well, we're going to continue to further crawl key. That's one of our number one concerns. This pipeline thing is taking on a life of its own. And as long as we can keep it funded, it's really, really expensive. And at one session out, we're not funded yet. So we're beating the bushes for grants. We're doing everything we can to keep this thing moving because that's how important we think it is.
Yeah.
Every length of pipe that we put in there makes the water security down there a lot more secure. So, it's I can't emphasize the importance of getting that replaced.
Yeah.
Some people will say it's overdue, and perhaps they're right, but we're going to try to make up time.
Well, since you've been in the position, you've been a champion of moving that project forward. Maybe we can at least, rename the part of the pipeline you're directly responsible for in your name, because I know it's going to take a long time beyond either one of us to get this completed. But you certainly have been a champion of that effort, and we've made progress. So thank you.
Absolutely, it's been a pleasure. It's a great company. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of good people. There's a lot of people that want to move this project forward and get things done. Yep. So it was an easy transition.
Yeah, good. Very good, Greg. I know you've got a very busy day. You've got a lot on your plate. Anything else that we should mention, though, before we let you go?
Nothing. Everyone stay safe. Hopefully we have a safe spring break.
Yes.
All the kids stay safe, and get home and get back to class.
And I will call you when my grandson Connor comes down because he probably will want to tour the wastewater treatment plant. So I'll let you know.
We will put on the VIP treatment.
Little hard hat with his name on it.
Yes.
That would go a long way.
There you go.
Thank you, Greg. I appreciate your time and all that you do. We'll talk soon.
Take care.
All right,
Bye-bye.
you too. Greg Velez, he's Executive Director, Florida Keys Aqueduct Authority. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys, and we will return in a moment.
There's more Good Morning Keys in just a couple of seconds. St. Patty's Day yesterday all over the Keys. It's not a difficult thing to find a friend as the hours wear on in the Keys on St. Patty's Day. Don't you think, Wanda?
Yeah, I would say you would have no problem at all.
Yeah, there's not a shortage of friends, especially if you are wearing the green and having the green. And if you're just crawling out of St. Patty's Day, well, go take a nap and then come back at 4:31 this afternoon, because making friends St. Patty's Day, not too difficult. But making friends as you add on a couple of years, well, Wanda Kiefer, her company All Seasons Vacations, she's got group travels and these excursions. You're going to meet some new people, make some friends that you'll probably end up connecting with the one or two people that you're going to go on vacation again and again and again with as the years wear on. And you've had that, haven't you, Wanda?
Absolutely. Yeah. We have groups that we've done probably now 5-6 years, and the same people, when we're on that first group, we're going, where's the next one? When are we going next? Yeah. Where are we going next? And it's kind of comical because they kind of set the tone for the next trip. So, but yeah, we have a lot that just love being parts of our group and love going around with us, and we always have a great time.
Listen, I have traveled with Wanda, and she's just fresh back, right? You're back from Turks and Caicos. And I want the report. Then I want a deal. And if you're having troubles, you want to expand your friend base, Wanda can do this. These group trips are a scream, and they're easy, and it's very obtainable. So let's make it a date. Wanda's company is All Seasons Vacations. The website, allseasonsvacations.net. Go look at it right now, allseasonsvacations.net. There's connectors to the Facebook pages. Some of the pictures. You got pictures up from Turks and Caicos, don't you?
Yeah, we do. We've been posting a lot while we were there, and even after we came back, just so people can take advantage of these great deals and take advantage of seeing what it's all about.
Yeah, the pictures don't do it any justice. We'll do our best to describe it this afternoon, but be with us this afternoon, 4:31. That's the time right here as you listen to us for Good Morning Keys. Make it a date, 4:31 this afternoon.
This is Ollie North for 4-Star Rentals. 4-Star Rentals is the most complete rental store in the Keys. They can provide rental equipment for every do-it-yourself project, from your house to your yard. Bobcats, chippers, chainsaws, and tile saws, you name it, they have it. They also deliver throughout the Keys. That's 4-Star Rentals. Model marker 4.5 on Stock Island. These guys are really good. That's 4-Star Rentals. Go see them soon.
Check us out. What Colonel Ollie North says is absolutely true. We're locally owned and operated. We offer a fleet of delivery trucks for fast all-in-one delivery. 4-Star Rentals is the oldest tool rental and party store in the Florida Keys. We make it easy to get that job done for that party or very special event. We're located at mile marker 4.5 in Key West, or just call us and we'll come to you. 4-Star Rentals, 294-7171. That's 294-7171. Remember, Colonel Ollie North never lies.
Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. Checking traffic for you once again up and down the Keys. No major incidents to report here so far. As we, again, spring break is happening right now, so we are not experiencing the school bus traffic and school zones in effect. That will happen again next week. However, we're going to say good morning to Suzi Youngberg. She is the president of the legendary Key Largo Chamber of Commerce. Good morning to you, Suzi.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Doing well. You're already well into a busy morning for yourself. Thank you for your service above self to Rotary and getting up extra early for the Key Largo Sunrise Club. Those are dedicated people. I go to the noon club, but Sunrise, getting up to serve others very early. We thank you for that.
It's a great way to start the day. I love my Rotary Club.
There you go. Well, you also serve others through the Key Largo Chamber of Commerce. There's always things happening there. We have Members in Motion coming up, the opportunity for people to get together and enjoy socializing with one another as members of the legendary Key Largo Chamber of Commerce. Non-members also always encouraged to come and find out more and get to meet the members. But Members in Motion is coming up just a little bit later this month.
It is. It's actually next week. Our Members in Motion events, of course, are our evening events.
Yes.
They are the fourth Thursday of the month. And this month we are going to, they're always wonderful. They're called Members in Motion because they are hosted by different members around the community. And on March 26th, we are going to be hosted by the Dolphin Point Velez and Dolphins Plus, which is the Dolphins Plus, of course, are the people who actually have the dolphins. They do the dolphin shows. They're a wonderful organization, and they're sister properties. And so our Members in Motion will be over both properties. It's going to be absolutely amazing. They tell me they're going to set it up kind of like if they were hosting a wedding on the two properties. So we'll sort of go between the two properties to see how they would set up like a reception and a wedding. They're going to have some of their vendors on hand for food and drinks. So I know the Key Largo Conch House is one of the food vendors, so we know it's going to be amazing food. There will be a dolphin show at some point during the evening. So I think it's just going to be fabulous. And in honor of March being Women's History Month, they are also partnering with the Upper Keys BPW, the Upper Keys Business and Professional Women, who will be helping to host the night as well. So it's going to be a really big Members in Motion. So we hope that lots of people will join us. As you mentioned, Michael, you don't have to be a member. We are happy to welcome members and non-members alike. Usually a non-member might pay, a few more dollars for registration, but it's not super significant. So we hope to see lots of community coming out.
Yes, Suzi Youngberg with us. She's the president of the legendary Key Largo Chamber of Commerce on Good Morning Keys. And I mentioned the Sunrise Rotary as a early morning event, somewhat early, not that early. And you also have another morning event that's being kicked off as of tomorrow, a brand new quarterly networking event in the morning this time. Key Largo Chamber of Commerce Coffee, Connections, and Conversations. That will be hosted by a new member of the chamber. It's Vicky Bakery with a spectacular new bakery there, and the Bar Victor space. They have a full bar there as well at the former Denny's locations. They have completely transformed that facility, and the opportunity to get together in the morning for networking and the like, that starts up tomorrow.
Yeah, very excited about that. We've been thinking about starting a, Rise and Shine, some sort of morning networking for a while. So I'm so thankful to Vicky Bakery for stepping up. They're also one of our trustee members, so we're very grateful for their support of the chamber. But they have, how cool is it that we have a Vicky Bakery? I think they're the only one that are going to have a bar.
I know.
Because as you mentioned, they did take over the old Denny's space that already had the bar and the liquor license.
Yes.
So they are including Bar Victor as part of the Vicky Bakery. And at 7:30 in the morning, we figured there wouldn't be a lot of patrons in the bar, so they will open up that space for us for networking. Although, I don't know, I heard a little rumor they might have the bar open for mimosas if
I was going to say
partake at that time of morning.
Yeah, mimosas and Bloody Marys. That could be the only event some people attend all day long. They might take a nap.
Right.
But that's all right.
Yeah, for just $20 for members, $25 for non-members, they're going to set out a wonderful selection of sweet and savory pastries and different wonderful concoctions for us to eat. They'll have a cafe con leche bar, coffee, and it just should be a great morning. We're also going to have Alex Lamadrid from H&R Block, who is another one of our trustee members at Key Largo Chamber, another great supporter, is going to be there since it's very timely. Obviously, people are thinking about their taxes right now. Alex will be there just on hand to answer any questions, to give some tax advice, or, whether personal or business. If you have any questions, be sure and come by and talk to Alex.
We did interview Alex here on the air as one of your trustee members. He's very knowledgeable in taxes as well as other HR and personnel issues and financial management and the like for businesses. So, yeah, that'll be great to hear him speak to the members there at that Sunrise event, Vicky Bakery, tomorrow. That's going to be another exciting opportunity made available by the Key Largo Chamber of Commerce. Speaking of opportunities, the visitor guide will be coming up not long from now. Tens of thousands of issues of the visitor guide are distributed at the visitor center there, as well as throughout the community and through the mail and the like. So those advertising opportunities exist through the visitor guide and the Key Largo Chamber of Commerce.
They do. That is our beautiful Destination Key Largo magazine. It is our annual publication. It doubles as our member directory as well. So it's a great place to find all of the local businesses, some great articles and information. And it is opened up right now for ads. As you mentioned, we print, thousands of copies. It does go out in the Keys Weekly newspaper when it is first printed. So it does go out to local residents. It's in all of the tourist visitor locations around town. We have it in our visitor center, and we mail it out on a regular basis. I would say probably, anywhere from 5 to 10 a week. We have people calling wanting information about Key Largo and the Florida Keys. So we mailed that magazine out. So it's sort of a visitor guide, a relocation guide, and just a lovely magazine featuring Key Largo. So the ads are still open until March 30th. So if you are a member and you're interested in advertising in that guide, just give us a call. We'd love to have you in it. We do have opportunities if you want to do for businesses who want to do a full page. And we have a couple of them that do an advertorial where they actually write a little article that goes as part of their ad. So it gives a lot more information about their business. So just give us a call. We'll talk to you about that.
Yes. And you can find out more at keylargochamber.org online, as well as all the contact info for the legendary Key Largo Chamber of Commerce. Speaking of legendary, the 4th of July parade coming up, celebrating the 250th anniversary of the United States, and the legendary Key Largo Chamber of Commerce making all of those festivities in the Upper Keys a possibility. We thank you for that. Planning has begun for this year.
It has 50 years. This year will be the 50th Key Largo July 4th parade. How exciting is that?
That's awesome. Yes, yes.
So we're planning a big celebration. Actually, just this morning, someone asked me what the theme was going to be for the parade, because, sometimes we do come up with fun themes. But I think this year, considering it is our 250th anniversary of our country and the 50th parade, we are just going with a strictly patriotic theme. We're going to do something fun with a 250-50
there you go.
type of thing. So we're just asking people to go ahead. As a matter of fact, the Key Largo Rotary is already planning their float. They started that this morning. So it will be here. I know it's only March, but July will be here before we know it. We all know how fast time flies. So be thinking about your float in the parade. Also, we will be opening that up for sponsorships. The sponsors are what help us keep doing a parade after 50 years, to pay for the parade, for the community picnic that we do in Key Largo Park immediately following the parade. And then, of course, the fireworks. The Key Largo Chamber does set off the fireworks over the Florida Bay on July 4th with the help of the Key West International Airport. They are still our biggest sponsor for that. But unfortunately, everything is getting more and more expensive. And even that wonderful sponsorship from the airport does not cover the full cost of the fireworks. So be thinking about that too. You probably will be, if you're a member, you'll be getting a call probably in the next month or so talking about sponsorships. So.
Very good. Well, we will be looking forward to that. The legendary Key Largo Chamber of Commerce. Boy, there's a lot of things happening, a lot of things to look forward to. Again, beginning with tomorrow with the new event that's happening, hosted by Vicky Bakery. Don't miss that. Coffee Connections and Conversations, Sunrise Business Networking. Did I ask, does that require pre-registration?
So it helps us if you pre-register. Registration is still open today. Just again, keylargochamber.org, click the events tab, and it'll take you right to the events tomorrow. Again, $20 for members, $25 non. Yep. If you don't register and you decide to come anyway, it is okay. We will be taking registration at the door. So we just would like to see your smiling faces at 7:30 tomorrow morning.
Excellent. Well, thank you for all that you do, Suzi. Anything else, though, we should mention before we let you continue with another busy day?
Well, that's a lot going on. Again, just check us out at keylargochamber.org. Let us know if there's anything we can do for you. And if you would like to join the chamber, we would love to have you as a member.
Okay. Key Largo Chamber of Commerce is where you go to find out more. The legendary Key Largo Chamber of Commerce, available online, keylargochamber.org. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. Suzi, you have a wonderful day.
You as well. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. Take care. Suzi Youngberg, president of the legendary Key Largo Chamber of Commerce. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. We're back in a moment.
Step back in time. Step back into Old Town. Step into Old Town Bakery with fresh baked treats like pastries, cookies, brownies, and fresh breads made every morning. Enjoy hot and cold delicious ground coffee always brewing and handcrafted breakfast and lunch sandwiches made to order on oven fresh breads. And now Old Town Bakery features spinach mushroom feta quiche and ham and cheese quiche, delectable for breakfast or lunch by the slice. Get a whole quiche pie by ordering in-store with 24 hours advance notice. And enjoy new cream-filled croissants with chocolate or vanilla filling and award-winning fresh baked pies, including their key lime pie, voted the best in the Keys. Pick up their unique Old Town Bakery t-shirts for a friend or yourself and give the gift of deliciousness with a gift card available for purchase in-store. And their catering menu is available to make that next event memorable. Old Town Bakery on the corner of Eaton and Grinnell. Stop in or order online. OldTownBakeryKeyWest.com.
Tree limb striking power lines is a top cause of power outages in the Florida Keys. While Keys has a robust tree trimming program to keep outages to a minimum, with your help, our efforts can go further. If you're planting a new tree, consider how tall a mature tree will be and choose a location where it won't interfere with power lines. Keep your trees trimmed at least 10 feet from all power lines. And if your tree is already growing near power lines, do not attempt to trim it yourself. Instead, submit a request at keysenergy.com and we will trim it for you free of charge. At Keys Energy, we're working to keep us all safe and the lights on.
In the Florida Keys, there's a name people trust for pool construction and remodels. Islamorada Pools. For years, residential and commercial property owners from Key Largo to Key West have trusted their team to design, build, remodel, and repair some of the most beautiful pools in the islands. Building a brand new backyard retreat, transforming an aging commercial pool, they bring craftsmanship experience and attention to every detail. They're local, they live here year-round, and they know what it takes to build and renovate pools that stand up to the Keys climate while delivering true luxury and long-term durability. From new construction and remodels to repairs, equipment upgrades, and decorative concrete, every detail matters. Your pool should reflect the quality of your property. Islamorada Pools makes that happen. Call 305-852-3133. Visit their showroom at 86701 Overseas Highway, Suite 103 in Islamorada, or online at islamorada.pools.com. Islamorada Pools, trusted, local, and built for the Keys.
Keys Auto Center, the Keys hometown dealership.
Hey folks, Stephen Bender at Key West Cadillac. Experience the precision and presence of the new Cadillac lineup, from the iconic Escalade to the refined XT5 and performance-driven CT5. And with our local deal match guarantee, you can move forward with confidence. So come see the people you know, like, and trust at Key West Cadillac on the Boulevard, or visit keywestcadillac.com. We've got the keys.
If it's happening in the Keys, you will hear about it here. This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
Good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. Still looking pretty good on the roadways. No major incidents being reported so far. As far as we can tell, that is good news. But again, the school buses are not out and about. Spring break in effect for the rest of the week. 65 degrees, 75 will be your high. 20% chance of rain for today. Tonight, 30% chance of rain. And 66. We've had some wet weather here as of late. 10% chance of rain on Thursday, 77. Friday into the weekend, looking nice. 78 and sunny make that. 81 for Sunday's high. So we're going to say good morning to the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary Communications Manager. It's Julie Cheon with us. Hello, Julie. How are you?
Hi, good morning. Doing well this morning. Little crisper in the air today than it has been.
It is. Actually, maybe not as many people out on the water here the past couple of days. And that can, help us get further work done in the sanctuary. But one story we wanted to talk about, Sanctuary Buoy apparently made, or some buoys made, an incredible journey. So I'm not sure how that occurred, but what was the circumstance?
Yeah, we have one that definitely won the travel award.
Okay.
So one of our boundary buoys from the Sand Key area was actually found washed up on the west coast of France.
Oh my, that's a long way.
Yeah, it's about 4,500 miles from the location. So Sand Key, if folks don't know, is about 7 miles off of Key West. So this one really went the distance. Somewhere along the line, it broke free, was picked up by the currents, and just kept going. And apparently, France was its destination. So we're not exactly sure when it went missing, but it definitely took the scenic route.
So then we were contacted eventually by somebody in France saying, "Hey, come get your buoy."
Yeah, we actually had two good Samaritans over there who reached out to us over the weekend and said, because they all have labels on them and phone numbers, and they called us up and left some voicemails. And so we got back to them, and yep, they found the buoy. One of them has taken it home at this point, so it's turned into quite a little situation over there. But it's all good. It's all good. And we've actually been joking around the office about who will get assigned to retrieve it.
Yes, I was wondering. That was my next question. Not a bad gig if you can get it. That's for sure. Wow. Well, that is a long way away, and it's a pretty hardy buoy to make that entire journey.
It is. So we'll have some social media posts coming up soon. So folks, check out our social media posts because it's pretty cool. It's probably a pretty good opportunity to talk to folks a little bit about the different buoys we have. So the one that washed up is a boundary marker that marks the boundary of Sand Key, and those are the larger yellow ones. They're 36 inches. So they're not designed to be tied up to. The ones that if you're out about on the reef, if you're out about and you see the white and blue ones, those are the ones that are designated mooring buoys, where you want to tie up to. So that's what those are designated for. So the yellow is just to show you, hey, you're in a protected area, and the blue and white are to give you a great place to tie off to, so you don't have to throw your anchor anywhere near the coral or the reefs. And we actually have 600 mooring buoys spread throughout the sanctuary.
That's good to know as well. Thank you for that distinction. Julie Cheon with us, Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary Communications Manager on Good Morning Keys. And you mentioned not having to anchor into the reef, et cetera. We're always working on reef restoration. We've had some positive updates, including what's happening with the sea urchins. So tell us about that.
Yeah, this is really an exciting update. Out at Horseshoe Reef, about the middle of January, there was an outplanting of sea urchins done. So we've been working with our partners through Mission Iconic Reefs. In this case, the partner was Sustainable Ocean and Reefs. They go by the acronym SOAR. Some people might be more familiar with that. And we've been doing is reintroducing the long spine sea urchins, otherwise known as diadema. So they really play a remarkable role. They're basically the reef's cleaning crew. They graze upon the algae, and otherwise the algae can grow over corals or at least outcompete the corals for space. It can also block the corals from getting the sunlight they need to survive. So they're playing an important part, and this is something relatively new we're working on. But we're already seeing encouraging signs. So early observations show that the urchins are grazing within about 15 or so feet from where they were released. So they're getting right to work, and they were strategically released in a particular area near the coral. So we're very happy to see that progress. And this is really just a part of a larger research effort to better understand how the urchins move, what habitats they do best in, and how their presence can support coral growth and survival.
Well, there's a lot to be learned for the National Marine Sanctuary and by the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary staff. And there's always ongoing research, and some of that does require equipment. Well, it looks like you recently brought back a piece of equipment, brought it back to life, and now it needs a name. So we need some details on this.
Yeah, sure. So we had an ASV, an autonomous vehicle. It's not very big when I say autonomous vehicle. It's about, 3.5 feet long and about 2 feet wide, and it's bright yellow. But it was out of service. So this, and the ASV stands for Autonomous Surface Vehicle, if I haven't said that already. But it's basically a small unmanned research boat, and Unfortunately, there was saltwater intrusion, so we lost it to that way. And originally, these cost about $25,000. So replacing it would have taken a lot of time and funding.
Yeah.
But instead, so our staff rolled up their sleeves and figured it out. NOAA Corps officer, Lieutenant Junior Grade Tara Anaya, she led an effort to diagnose and repair the system despite the original manufacturer no longer being in business and documentation being really limited. I mean, she just certainly used her ingenuity on this one. She reverse engineered the system, cleaned the corrosion from the electronics. She replaced the key components, and she got it fully operational again for less than $200. And she used a lot of materials that we just had around the office. So it's very, very cool. It's now back on the water. It's getting ready to collect that data that we need. So what we use these things for is GPS mapping, depth measurements, and imagery. And they work really well in the shallow areas where it's hard for divers to even work. So it's a great tool for us. So now that it's up and running again, we're kind of looking for a nickname for it. So we're going to invite the public to submit ideas for a nickname. We'll have it on our social media where you can submit your ideas, and we'll have it on the website too. But just to give your folks a heads up, so now they know what it does. They know it's really bright yellow. That you'll see pictures on the social media and the website, and it's very cool looking. So hopefully folks will give us some great nicknames for it.
Very well. It is Julie Cheon with us. She is the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary Communications Manager on Good Morning Keys. And we've talked a little bit about seagrass on this program in the past and some of the projects surrounding seagrass. Well, March overall is Seagrass Awareness Month. So why is seagrass so important here in the Florida Keys, Julie?
Yeah, it's one of those things people don't always notice, but it's absolutely essential. The sanctuary has about 1.5 million acres of seagrass. That's actually larger than the state of Rhode Island. And it's one of the largest contiguous seagrass systems anywhere in the world. And it does its little behind the scenes work every day. I mean, it stabilizes the seafloor. It helps keep the water clean by trapping sediment. It provides nursery habitat for fish and lobster, all kinds of creatures. And it also feeds wildlife, green sea turtles, manatees. It's one of their foods of choice. So it really does a lot of work down there. And I know that coral reefs get all the glamour, and they're all that's the sexy part of the habitat for a lot of people down here. And while those are incredibly important, seagrass is really one of the foundations that support everything else. So we really want to let people know how important that is.
Yeah, there's been some talk in the past about seagrass meadows and restoration efforts for some of those. And then we also hear, like you had mentioned, Julie, about a few years ago when the manatees were being threatened and unfortunately were dying off. A lot of that seemed to have been tied to seagrass availability. But what are some of the biggest threats to seagrass right now, and what can people do to help?
Well, one of our biggest threats is actually one of our most preventable, and the threat is boat damage. We see more than 300 boat groundings reported each year in the sanctuary, and nearly 80% of those impact seagrass habitats. So, while a lot of people think a prop scar is minor, it really isn't. A single propeller cut can widen over time. The recovery is slow. In some cases, it can even take years or decades for that grass to fully come back. So on top of the other pressures we're seeing, like the warming water, the nutrient runoff, and the coastal development, seagrass really has to deal with multiple stressors. But as I said, the prevention is key. And so we can help prevent these boat groundings. So what I like to recommend to people is avoid the shallow flats when you can. Trim your motor up if you're in the skinny water. And if you do run aground, please don't power through it. That is the worst. That's where the real damage typically occurs. Sometimes you run into it and there's some damage, but when you try to power off, that's absolutely when the worst damage occurs. So please trim your motor up and try to push off. And those small actions, they'll make a big difference. So when you protect the seagrass, you're protecting the fisheries, the water quality, the reefs. So we really want to accentuate that.
Those are all issues that people need to be aware of, and we thank you for bringing them to our attention. But Julie, before we do wrap up today's session, what's happening at the Eco Discovery Center lately?
Oh, yeah. Thanks for asking about that. So the Eco Discovery Center, it's really been buzzing lately. We're seeing more visitors come through the doors, and we're also hosting more groups and meetings in the space. We have meeting space available. So that's something people are starting to take advantage of. And for anyone who hasn't been, it really is worth a visit. The exhibits are interactive. They give people a really engaging look at the Keys ecosystem. And one of the best parts is it's completely free.
Oh, yeah.
So it is down in Key West, all the way down by past Truman Annex. So it's completely free. And we do have one thing coming up there. It's tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. I'm sorry. Saturday. On Saturday, we have yoga with a mission and a view. So outdoors at the facility, you can come enjoy some yoga. You'll be out there right adjacent to the water, and that's Saturday, March 21st at 9 a.m. It's a great way to experience the space in a different way. And if folks want to do that, they can RSVP by emailing fkedc at NOAA.gov. That's fkedc@noaa.gov. That means Florida Keys Eco Discovery Center at NOAA.gov. But it's fkedc at NOAA.gov.
Not to be confused with floridakeys.noaa.gov, which is where you go to find out more about the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary overall. And I know also social media has all kinds of updates there also.
Yes.
Yeah, indeed. It is Sanctuary Communications Manager Julie Cheon with us on Good Morning Keys. And so we've covered a number of topics and highlights and updates this morning. We thank you for that, Julie. Anything else that we should mention, though, at this time?
Oh, I'm always someone who will plug the Explorer app. It is a fantastic app that the Sanctuary put together before my time, so I take no credit for it, but I've got to tell people about it because it's absolutely amazing. You download it on your phone. It's absolutely free. And you can use it to plan your trip when you're on land. But if you're on the water, it will tell you if you're near a protected area, and you can see what the regulations are in the area and what protections are in effect. So it's the Explorer app. It works on Android, it works on iPhone. Check it out, download it, plan your trip, use it on the water. It has all kinds of fantastic information on it.
Very well. Well, we will encourage that also. So, Julie, with that, you have a terrific day. I appreciate you taking the time to educate and inform and update our listeners, and we'll talk soon.
All right. Super. Thanks.
Thank you. Take care. Julie Cheon with us. She is the National Marine Sanctuary Communications Manager for the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary on Good Morning Keys. And it is just about time for Glenn Beck. Breaking news as soon as it happens, as well as local, state, national news is updated every half hour at least, weather around the clock. All you need to remain informed and engaged right here on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. Thank you for listening.